Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of The Lab. Sitting with you, as always, you have Lou Folenkamp, Brandon Wierig, and Alex Trotter. Um, this is going to be more of so what we're going to be doing here with The Lab, guys, just so everyone's aware, is we're going to be kind of collaborating with another podcast and kind of putting everything together under one roof. So the name of that is going to be The Lab Collective, where you're going to have a combination of strength and conditioning, and physical therapy kind of all underneath one roof. So if you haven't yet, make sure you go ahead and follow that page. I highly encourage you to do so. The topic for today, though, is we're going to kind of talk a little bit about, mental health has been a big talk in sport for Lord knows how many different years. Um, to name a few, look at the kicker for the Buffalo Bills and how he struggled with mental health after he missed that field goal in the Super Bowl. But big thing here, guys, just talking a little bit more on like mindset. We might even get a little bit into like a flow state kind of talk, but I'm just kind of curious to see where Alex and Brandon want to kind of go with this today. So
Brandon?
you two, if you guys want to kind of lead it off, Brandon, since uh, Mr. Calm and Collected over there,
That's me.
why don't you go ahead and
Um,
give us our spiel?
well, it's kind of like anytime the kids are kind of getting under an unsure weight, that you sit there and you're talking about it, and then they kind of start thinking like, I don't know if I can get this. Like, I don't think I'm going to get it. It's kind of like that kind of mindset. It's like, well, if you think that, it's not going to happen. You're not just going to like magically like surprise yourself if you like are not mentally checked into what you're about to do here. So just kind of having that confidence of like, if I'm going into a weight, I'm always thinking like it's going up. If it doesn't come up, that's a different story. But like, I'm never gonna like mentally psych myself out from a weight. So just kind of like thinking about that kind of mindset towards it. And then I mean, obviously, you got like other kind of mental aspects of it, from like pressure and like game on the line type things and things along that. But from a weight room setting, I guess would be that way.
Okay. How about you, Trotter?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'm a big proponent of visualization. So, like,
Mhm.
if I know that week, like leading into like a meet, for example, like I've already visualized hitting the same weights that like I'm going for 1,000 times. Like, it's just repetitive at that point. Like, I know, like, okay, if I pick the weight up and it feels heavy, this is what I'm going to do. If I pick the weight up and it feels light, this is what I'm going to do. If I start going down in my hip shift or something like that, this is how I'm going to correct it. It's almost like you got to be there, done that already. So then it's not like a shock to you. So I didn't really get into that like too much, like growing up. My dad was like a big proponent on it, and he tried to get me to do a lot, and I just kind of never bought into it. And
Mhm.
then I started buying into it, and then all of a sudden it was like I'd hit 700 on squat or something like that. It was like, oh, like that was easier than I thought it was going to be. And then it turned into 800, then it turned into 900, then it turned into my first 1,000. And it was just like, holy shit, like this is actually like working if I can just like mentally lock it in.
Mhm. That in itself, man, 1,000 pounds. Ugh.
Well, it's just like I try to tell like the kids all the time, it's like whatever your max is, like that's exactly how it feels on me too. Like it's
Mhm.
the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just like it's that mindset of just like picking it up and like I'm not failing this shit.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into like mindset and like I guess you could kind of call it, would you call it, I would call it like getting into the zone or the right state of mind. Um, I know sometimes when like work, I have a lot of things going on in my brain. Sometimes it can be pretty difficult to kind of zone in on like what I need to do in the workout. Just because I'm
Yeah.
thinking about a million different things. But there are times when like I will write my work. Like people, I'm not against having workouts on the phone, but like I like having my whiteboard up or a piece of paper out so I can write it down, because then what I do is I put on my music with my phone and I put my phone away. Like I don't like having distractions. I like being able to kind of get myself into like that flow and moving. And my brain, I would like to have zoned in on what I need to do. And when I have my phone, sometimes it's just, and I mean, this is just kind of discipline, but like if my phone is out, sometimes I'm bad about like trying to get too much done at once. And so then I'm kind of splitting my efforts as opposed to like getting myself into that one and done, that one task at a time.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, multitasking is kind of a skill, but there are also times when I'm like you guys were saying, you guys are kind of attributing it to like that one rep max or maybe that heavy lift or that set. I would even say like an entire workout. Sometimes I kind of get into like a state of mind where like nothing matters except for the workout. Like there could be the house on fire. I mean, granted, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like I'm not going to respond to anything. Like I am just going to be in the zone, and that's what I want. Um, there's actually a lot to be said about that, though. Uh, kind of optimizing your time, optimizing your performance. I mean, give me some examples of when you guys were in high school and how maybe it's changed to now. Because I got one for example, but I'll let you guys lead it off first.
Oh,
Just the whole social media aspect has changed.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I mean, everything's at the
Yeah.
palm of your hand. I mean, it was coming up. I mean, when the time I was a senior, it was pretty much like kind of there, but like, you know, you had like the iPhones were just starting to come out, but you could still have it like on an iPad or iPod touch. And then, but by the time, I mean, the kids now, it's everything's on your phone. You don't have to have like like a phone, and then you have like your iPod, which is what I had kind of back in the day growing up, but everything's just right there. And it's just so easy to get distracted. It's so easily to come up with some excuse to this and that. And I mean, just technology has changed, which has changed the game.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I would say that's the big component for sure. 'Cause, I mean, I don't even think I didn't get a Facebook until like 2008 or something like that. But I didn't get my first smartphone until 2011, 2012. You know, so it was just like, yeah, I just never like my first smartphone was the iPhone 4. So like all my phone ever was good for was phone calls and texts. Life was easy.
Made things simple.
Yeah.
Made things very simple.
But like as far as like high school and stuff went, like I enjoyed like those clutch moments, those ones where it's like games on the line, like who's gonna step up, and it's just like yeah, like I'm like I like to lead by example kind of thing. So that's why I always felt like it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I miss this play, like I let the entire team down, like not just myself, but like the entire team. So like having like the weight on your shoulders kind of thing, it's either gonna like make you or break you. So I just always like to see what kind of person you are. If you got that dog in you, we're just talking about that today.
Oh man.
I feel like just like those playing those scenarios in your head, though, like during practice or like you're like at the gym shooting around for basketball, for instance, like you're practicing free throws, like you're playing that scenario in your head, like you're down 2 or you're down 1, you got 2 shots,
Yep.
there's 2-3 seconds on the clock. Like everybody's played that scenario in their head. But
Yep.
Yeah. I know before like football games, I used to get so like just like almost over excited that I would throw up before football games. And then all of a sudden it's like, but it's because like I couldn't get myself to like focus. I was almost like so sporadic about what could be, what could happen, like just the different options in a game. And then it was like I went to college and I started playing rugby, and it was like that kind of melted away. And it was like I honestly I had some good coaches though. Like they were really good about kind of preparing you. And so like the mental state that I was in before excuse me, the mental state
Bless you.
before I was in a rugby game, before a football game, was drastically different. Like drastically different. I
Mhm.
felt calmer. I felt like I could get into but I also would like go through a process of like 2 or 3 days beforehand of like setting myself up and kind of sharpening what I needed to be for the game. So like when we went into a match against like Ball State or we played Miami, like I was ready for anything on the field. I felt ready. I felt mentally prepared. Like, and then as soon as the ball started moving around, I was ready. I could think about things on the fly. I was ready to adjust. Like it was just kind of that state of just almost like a fluid kind of mental state where I could think and change on the fly. It was just nuts. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. It's like a euphoric feeling. Like that's
Exactly.
how I always felt like too. And sometimes I explain that, to the kids. Like you get so worked up like going in for a lift, and I'll explain it to like my football like players. or like even my basketball players, like you're getting worked up, and it's just like that's the same thing. Like right before opening kickoff and right before tip off, it's like it's the same feeling. But as soon as that ball's thrown up or that football's kicked, you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's kind of like all the noise like from the stadium or like inside the arena just goes quiet, and all you can hear is your teammates. And it's just like you
Mm-hmm.
just got to be locked into that. And that's why like I'm a big proponent of not lifting with headphones, because like you need to be able to hear like your coach or like your training partners in order to make the corrections, just like you're on the field or like you're on the court.
Yeah, that's actually that's a big point, because I mean, I feel like external stimulus like music, um, it just creates a, I don't want to say a hype, but like it does kind of get you in a motivated state, but not from an internal or an intrinsic type of like preparation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you
I mean,
require
I'm
an
not saying like,
external cue.
yeah, like I need like I need the music to listen to, but like
Yeah.
it's not directly over my ears.
Yeah, but it's not like the
Because
only thing that gets you ready.
right. And it's not like we play the music like super quiet at the gym either. Like that shit's cranked.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that
Thanks to
like,
Brandon.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is that like when you go underneath the bar, your mindset is what's got you there and ready, not the music behind you. Like that's not what
Yeah.
has you hyped. You've already gotten yourself ready in your head what you're about to do.
Yeah.
It's not like you're looking at the person next to you and go like, "Hey, go hit next. I need the next song." Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. If that's the case, you are not ready for this weight.
Nope.
Or you're not
Nope.
ready, and you can translate to anything else. You're not ready to be on the court or on the field. You're not ready to make this play. Like you just became like an absolute liability out there.
Bingo.
Yeah. I end up telling my athletes mostly to just stop thinking at all.
Yeah.
Like just react. Just
Yeah.
react. Like the college track girls Monday was just all of a sudden was having a hard time just with her block start, and she just was like over analyzing everything, and she'd have a good rep but then feel like she didn't have a good rep, so she'd like stop halfway through, and it's like just relax, just don't think and just go. Like we've been doing it all summer. She's going to be a D1 track athlete that's mainly a pole vaulter, but her coach wants her to kind of expand into other events and too, so she's never really actually ran a full race. So she's kind of getting nervous on that kind of aspect. So it's like, just turn your brain off and just go.
Gotta have fun with it eventually. It's kind of
I think that is a lot of people have a problem of overanalyzing in a sense. So.
Oh, very much. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like when I start overthinking, like, oh, like that lift wasn't like, or that bar speed wasn't as fast as what I thought it was, and then it's like, oh, I just start crumbling. Like you can see it because I'm out of the zone. Like I lost it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting your own head. Self-destruction.
And it happens, but I think that's why we're there too, because like no matter what lift like the kids are doing, we've done it. Like we've done it for years. Like I can tell you exactly how this is going to feel, exactly where you're going to start slowing down, exactly what you're going to have to do to like start fixing that and making that correction. And Brandon does the same thing. Like we can break it down enough to where like it's almost like when you're doing the lift, it's in slow motion and everything that's about to happen. So like we'll just take the mental aspect of it out, of like you having to think. Like it's just kind of the same thing with like the visualization. We're just verbally saying it to you.
Yeah. I think another thing to kind of like look into are the people that have to utilize like external substances to like get themselves into that like mindset to go. Like for example, caffeine. How many people are like hyping up caffeine just to sharpen their focus right now? There's a lot of different supplements out there right now that are pushing. Well, like Rain, for example, has 300 milligrams of caffeine. Ghost has 200. Rockstar has, I think, 85 milligrams or 185. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like there's a lot of
180,
different supplements.
185, yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think so, yeah.
And like sometimes that is known, and it is, I mean, caffeine is like scientifically proven to help improve focus, but like you should not become reliant. Where like there's a kid right now who before football games is cracking like, I think it was a rain and then 2 or 3 different like vitamin B like complex pills before a football game. And I was like, dude, you are a sophomore in high school and you are going to be out. He's like, dude, I felt like I was a man on fire. I'm like, I bet all of your body was on fire with all that caffeine and all that B vitamins going through your system.
Yeah.
But it's just nuts to hear, because I was like, why are we pushing that for him to be like at his top? Like that to me just like dumbfounded me. Oh,
Well, I
we had
mean,
a talk.
Brandon be a good person to talk about that because he doesn't use anything.
Nope. I just hear all the stories about people like being dependent on it, and like if they don't have it, they just don't feel themselves, and it's not something I really got into growing up as it was anyway. But so as I got older, I just never got into it. So I mean, I was doing fine without it, so there's no point in trying to fix something that wasn't broken.
You don't even take protein powder, do you? You just eat a lot. You just eat a lot.
Yeah, I would much rather eat my protein than drink it.
Brandon's
I'm a
an all
foodie.
natural. Huh.
Yeah, I will
Well,
agree with you up to a certain extent.
Come like October, come October, November, when I start trying to put weight back on, then I can't eat that much. I need to get it in through supplementation is when I'll start putting some like protein powder and stuff back in. But for right now,
Yep.
I'm right where I want to be.
Makes sense. Makes sense. There's something to be said about being able to do that naturally, be able to put yourself on the spot, get yourself into that mental state. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, is every day a perfect day where you can get in the zone? No. You're gonna have shit days, and that's just oh God, what is it called? Rules of 3.
Yeah.
Third of the time it's gonna be shit, third of the time it's gonna be okay, and third of the time it's gonna be great. And right now I feel like I'm in that third of the time where it's gonna be dog shit. But that goes back to saying that, like, I mean, how many times in an episode or through the episodes have we talked about like getting good sleep? Like a lot. I mean, I think by this point, through what the 40 something episodes we've done, we've talked about sleep, food, and water like crazy people. But I mean, at the end of the day, if that brain of yours is not able to recover, relax, and you're not gonna be able to get into that flow state or into that like that sharp focus like as easily, let alone sustain it through like heavy loading.
Yep.
Gonna be interesting to see in this next week.
Yeah. But see, sometimes I think like parents, they almost like forget about that because I'm a big believer of like teenagers, especially like while they're growing, they need extra sleep. So it's like when they're sleeping, like there's a reason that they're sleeping for 12 hours. Just let them have it. Like it's not hurting anybody. Like I mean, I understand to an extent, like you want to keep them on a sleep schedule, blah blah blah. Like I get that, but yeah, like that was one of the things that like my mom was like a big proponent on. Like she very much like let us sleep, like when we needed to sleep. Because then like dad, he was like, but he was always waking up super early. So it's like if he's up, we're up. But then all of a sudden, we're taking a 2.5, 3 hour nap in the middle of the day. It's just like, yeah, dude, like we're tired. We need sleep. Like we're growing. I know you've quit growing since 8th grade, but like we're still going.
Oh. I will say one thing that I think some people need to look into, like people who have like, I don't know how you guys handle anxiety or things of that nature, but I know that sometimes like when my anxiety gets a little bit like, I don't want to say like my anxiety is bad because it's not, but like there are times when like I just do feel a little bit more stressed out. And like I'm saying, I'm out in the garage, I'm trying to work out and I can't get focused. Sometimes if I don't think that I'm like, because sometimes my workouts will get me to calm down because I just expended that energy. But there are days when like sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually just work on breathing, honestly, just to kind of bring myself down. Or if I really need to hype myself up, there's a lot of different breathing techniques that you can do that can also help stimulate and kind of get you into that state of like readiness, but then also like to like bring yourself down. So what I've actually been kind of like experimenting with over the last like 2 months is I bought like an infrared sauna, and I've been doing a lot of reading from like Rickson Gracie, Wim Hof. There's a guy out of India that I've been reading on about like different forms of breathing and how like the breathing patterns can affect your autonomic nervous system. And it's actually been a lot of fun because there have been times where like I'll go down into the infrared sauna for like maybe 15, 20 minutes and I'll just do breathing the entire time. And it absolutely sucks. Then I go upstairs to go to bed and I crash. And it's fantastic. But then there are days when like if I need to get like a really quick boost, I jump out in the ice bath, or like I turn on a cold shower, I do my breathing, and I don't even need to take my cup of coffee in the morning. It's fantastic. So I mean, there's a lot of
That's
different
something I
things
want to
to
get into this winter.
You want an ice bath?
Yeah, I mean, being in Ohio, you can get away with it being outside for 6 months out of the year. So I think I might buy one of them inflatable ones and just stick it
want
on
mine?
the back porch. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you mine. You can have mine. I'm gonna go buy something bigger. I need to get something a little bit more durable because I leave mine outside. If you're gonna leave it outside and there's a tree over it, wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't got no trees.
Yeah. Did you just flex on us financially?
No. Fuck you. No, I did not.
I
need
take
one
that
bigger.
hand me downs all day.
Full size.
No, I want something that's not going to get like destroyed by the tree that's outside.
Cut the tree down with your knuckles.
I'll try my best. I don't know how my knuckles are going to like that.
You got to work on your breathing while you're punching.
Hey, that is actually true. That's a thing. Rickson Gracie, or Hickson Gracie, however you pronounce his name. That guy is a freak of nature, by the way. You want to read he actually has a book called Breathe, and it is fantastic. I've been reading that, and I've actually been looking into like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and like how those guys can just go for Lord knows how many minutes in just constant states of just crap. Like it's just nuts. That would be something really fun to try, I think. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, until I get in an arm bar, and then all of a sudden, I'm done. Yeah.
Even if I know it's coming, I'm fucking tapping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull Ricky Bobby. Just break it, Pepe Le Pew. Just break it.
No, absolutely not.
Just say you like really thin pancakes. No.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm calling my dog real quick.
Yep. Yeah, Nolan got you that earlier this week. Yesterday.
Yeah, he did. As soon as he said that, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we had like one of our state champion wrestlers, and he's wrestling in college. He came back before he moved in this weekend, and realized that Brandon didn't have the dogs in there because the gym was too hot. Came right behind Brandon, wrapped around him. He goes, "No dogs today." And Brandon goes,
sweet Jesus.
He just knew it. Just picked him up and started to go.
Oh God!
Might as well take advantage of it now because it ain't gonna happen often.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus, that'd be terrifying.
Oh, man.
He's a big boy too.
How big is he now? Is he at college now?
260. Yeah, he's moving into
Christ.
Columbia tomorrow. Yep.
Ah, that's a big boy.
Yeah.
And I am not 260.
Yeah, and he knows how to use it too.
Yeah.
That's what's even more terrifying.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. No. I guess with the upcoming, we just started the fall sports, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how some of the kids take to the fall sport in football and volleyball. Anyone of note from you guys have seen from any of the athletes at No Name? Any big games?
Notre Dame's ass. They'll
high
probably
school.
like
high school.
Oh,
high school.
Well, I thought Notre Dame was a high school team.
You don't talk about God's team like that. Come on now.
God's team. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Buckeyes.
Sacrilege.
Yeah.
Sacrilege. No. No, high school football or volleyball or cross country.
Oh,
of note.
You should have specified.
I did specify, you dingus.
I mean, right
Next
now it's
week.
kind of like in that non-conference play, so teams are kind of playing teams that they can easily beat up on. So we got to kind of wait a week or two to start getting into some conference plays, start really seeing which team's going to be, that dog team, and got some good cross country runners coming up right now.
Yep.
There should be some good ones in there. Same thing volleyball. They haven't really been getting into conference play yet, so it's hard to tell. But
Mhm.
yeah, get
Yeah.
about
Soccer, same
week
thing.
4. Yeah, got to get them tune-up games in first.
Yep.
It'll be good to see. I'm really curious to see how some of the high school teams are going to perform this year, especially with some of the changes. Like, who is the freshman quarterback near you guys?
Miami East.
Okay.
Is it Miami East?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
But see,
curious to see how they
we've been
handle this year.
talking about that for years. I've always I mean, you just knew he's a hard worker. Like he understands like what he has to do in order to get his body ready and stuff. I mean, even when he was in like 7th grade, I was telling him how he's going to start like varsity, and then like I turned it into a joke of like, oh, you're my favorite backup QB ever. You could see it just like the wheels spinning, like he hated being called that.
Yeah.
And like he takes it with such stride. It's gonna be awesome to see his growth. I'm very excited for that.
That's gonna be fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Who do any of the schools play on Saturday this week?
Like JV, but
No. Okay.
Yeah.
got a couple
Just curious.
Thursday night games coming up. But yeah, for mostly just Fridays.
When do the Buckeyes play their first game? Notre Dame plays today at 2:30 against
Next
Navy.
They
Saturday.
play next week. Yeah.
Oh, is there no one else playing today?
Nah, it's like
No,
another
no.
one. Like a
USC
night
plays
game.
San Jose State, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, trash. Does Colorado play? Is Dion's
There's
opener?
No, that was Jackson, his old one, Jackson State.
Yeah.
Jackson State.
But there's a game on like Thursday, I think. I forget who's
Let's
playing
see
though.
here.
And then the
you
real
got Notre
teams
Dame
play on
Navy.
Saturday. Yeah, real teams open up next week.
Yeah. Yeah. All the JV teams start this week.
I'm gonna.
They're trying to get the Raiders ratings up a little higher, so they kind of give them a little bit more advantage starting up today. So
Yeah.
the ratings up a little bit higher.
yeah, they're trying to get they're trying to put their college on the map, but it just ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You understand how? Never mind. I'm gonna let you have that one, Brandon.
You better off that way.
I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you
Just
one.
like we had that dub last year.
Mm-hmm. You
Weird.
guys are lucky we are separated by screens. I'd be giving both of you some scoldings. Maybe a nut tap. You never know.
Put 500
That's
on the
right.
bar and we'll see who gets it.
Yeah.
Game on, Brandon. Game on. We'll do it. We'll have fun with it. No, honestly, who do you guys think is going to be the team to beat in college football this year?
Ohio State.
I think it's going to be Texas. I honestly
There's
think
no
it's going
team
to be
that can
Texas.
match up with Ohio State receivers.
Yeah.
As long as that quarterback,
Alabama's.
as long as the quarterback get it to him, we gotta see what the quarterback situation is. But and they said that receiving core or that running back room is getting bigger. There's like 3 deep in that running back room. I don't even care what the defense looks like. I don't think there's another offense that can go shot for shot with them.
No, I think there's like some crazy athlete too on the Buckeyes. Plays linebacker or safety or bullet, whatever they call it. I guess he's a freak of nature. Like
Really?
6'4", 230 can go out and play corner 1-on-1 against like.
Jesus Christ.
He practices like. Yeah, it's gonna be curious to see if he can stay healthy. I think he's number 6. I forget his name though, so I'm not giving him due diligence.
So he's number 6?
I believe so.
Sweet Lord. He's a safety?
Yeah, but he's going to be playing all over. They put him at the bullet, so he just kind of roams.
God, that's a terrifying human being.
But
Jeez and Pete. They got a few guys that are pretty big.
We'll be
Yeah.
all right this year.
yeah,
Yeah. You guys don't usually have a bad year or a lag. I mean, you guys had that one year when you guys lost to Iowa, but that and Michigan State, that was a weird year. And Purdue, you guys have lost to in the past, but not consistently.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm just happy for college football to be back.
That's right.
The games begin. No, but everybody, we hope you guys enjoyed our talk today on mental state and focus and flow. But we will see you guys in the next episode.